welcome to another deck tech video with me for a deck that's for the standard format of 2016. Let's take a look. It's the Nightmarsh deck, and as we know, Nightmarsh was a huge deck in the last standard format and currently in the expanded format. This version is, I loved playing Nightmarsh in the last standard format, so when Mew rotated out and the Nightmarsh deck became worse, I decided to still continue playing it for fun. I haven't played it that much, but I still thought I would make one for standard because standard is really the format that I prefer. So Nightmarsh, if you did not already know, is basically by using these 12 Nightmarsh Pokemon, Joltik, Lampent, and Pumpkaboo, to use the Nightmarsh attack. Nightmarsh is an attack that gets stronger for each Pokemon in your discard pile with the Nightmarsh attack, and it does 20 more damage for each Nightmarsh Pokemon in the discard pile. So if you have 3 Nightmarshes in the discard pile, it does 60 damage, and so on and so on. And you have 12 of these, so you can do quite a lot of damage quite fast, and that is the goal with the deck. Overall, we use all the Nightmarshes that we can, of course, because that's kind of what we want to do. I wish there was one more, because that would make this deck probably better without the Mew, but oh well, what can you do? So overall, we use a lot of trainers and supporters in this deck, and when it comes to Mew, what we replaced it with was actually Revive, so that instead of using the Mew as an attacker, and then when that gets knocked out, we still have a Nightmarsh on the bench, we use Revive to get back the correct Nightmarshes that we need to attack currently, and most often that is Joltik, and that is pretty much the best one to use for this, I would say. Overall, though, the strategy is basically just to draw your cards, try and get all the battle compressors as possible, as many as possible, as early as possible, to get Nightmarshers down to the discard pile. Find your Nightmarsh attacker, usually using Dimension Valley together with Pumpkaboo, or Joltik alone together with the Double Colors Energy to get the attacker out. If you don't have the Dimension Valley out, you can put a Double Colors on Pumpkaboo and then another Energy onto that to attack the next turn, but that's usually not what you want to do. In the deck we play 2 Lysander because I feel like, oh, that is not Lysander. Lysander because I feel it's important to always snipe for 2 prize cards if possible. For example, if they have a Shaman on the bench, always go for that unless you can kill their active Pokemon, which is an EX that gives more, as many prize cards, of course. But always try and get 2 prize cards so that you're always quite a lot ahead, or really ahead of your opponent when it comes to prizes, since they are only killing basic Pokemon that gives them 1 prize card, unless they snipe your Shamans. And in this deck we play 3 Shamans because Shamans are just so great to get the new hands out and just continue getting cards so that your combo works out faster. You can play without the Shamans, it's not as strong, of course. I would suggest probably just playing what's his name, Vespiquen at that point instead, because I don't think that is as bad when it comes to losing the Shamans, but I'm not actually sure. I don't really prefer Vespiquen overall because I don't like the Pokemon, but anyway, since that has to evolve and I don't really like that. At this point I am playing Professor Birch Observations, which you can switch out with any supporter that you want, really. It's just a pref thing that I like it. I like this card, but you can really remove that and put any supporter in there that you would prefer to use. I also use Teammates because, yeah, it's just so good. They can always kill one of your Pokemon because they're pretty weak. So Teammates is just a great tool to find the energies you need, or the Stadium card, or whatever, really, at any point. We play 1 single Hex Maniac, and that is mostly because a lot of people online tend to play the Leo Evolution Pyroar that can't be damaged by basic Pokemon. And that just kills you if you don't deal with that. So Hex Maniac takes care of that in a good way, and of course also Lysanders that you can snipe the bench even at that point. Ultra Ball is used to discard your Nightmarshers to find the cards you need, usually a Shaman or Joltik that can attack in just with 1 energy or 1 Double Colors energy. I play Switch instead of Floatstone because Switch I feel like is a bit better for this deck, and in this way you can also equip a Muscle Band instead of a Floatstone, but as a pref thing, if you want to use a Floatstone here instead of a Switch, that's up to you, but I prefer Switch. The deck is so fast anyway, and your Pokemon dies quite easily, or gets knocked out quite easily, I mean, of course. So I just don't feel like Floatstone is the thing that I want to use. Also, don't forget that Shaman actually can attack for 30 damage, 50 with a Muscle Band, which can be quite important at times. What else? You could also remove one acrobike to put in town map. Town map was not in the format when I made this deck because it was rotated out, but it's now in the format again. So if you want to use town map just to be able to find the energies that are in your prize cards, go ahead and do that if you want to. VS Seeker is just great. Pro tip when it comes to Battle Compressor, you always want to get rid of your Lampents first. But if you don't have a supporter card in your hand, but you have a VS Seeker, get rid of 2 Lampents and then 1 supporter card that you need so that you can VS Seeker that card and use it. That is just good play overall. I think most of you know that already, but it's important to think of. I know that some players actually do discard 3 Lampents when they have nothing to play. Even if you don't have a VS Seeker, it's always worth discarding 1 supporter to the discard pile early so that if you draw a VS Seeker instead of a supporter when you need it, you have something there that you can use. So, pro tip there, always discard a supporter. It doesn't necessarily need to be Sycamore, but Sycamore is usually the one you want to do, especially if you play with Shamans. Yeah, other than that, the deck is quite straightforward. It's just like the old Nightmarsh, just not as great. If you want to play a good Nightmarsh deck, I would suggest playing Expanded, where you can add Mew again to the deck and such, and then you just have a stable deck overall with another attacker that is not one of your Nightmarshers. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the deck. I hope you find some success with it. If you remove the Shamans as well, the deck is actually not that pricey. It is a bit pricey now because of Shamans, but without those, the deck is actually quite cheap, and it's fun to play. I mean, it's not the best deck in the current format, in the current standard format, but still, it's enjoyable, and if you just want something fast to play, go for it. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Nurgleprobe. This is another deck tech video. I will see you next time. Take care. Thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. To see the next deck in this series, you can click right here. And if you want to see more Pokemon TCG content in general, you can also click right here. And don't forget to check the links down below where you can find my Twitch page where I stream the Pokemon TCG online game every Friday. So come by. There's also giveaways, contests, and challenges and other weird things. So stop by. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.